So, welcome to J29, whatever this is going to be called eventually. If y'all could please introduce yourselves and tell me what you do here.
Hi, I'm Sam Hamilton. I am the marketing content coordinator at J29 Creative Group.
Sierra Miller, marketing specialist, also J29 Creative. Writing the copy, doing the thing.
And I'm Jake Shirk, engagement specialist with J29. Going to be hosting this for now and
Forever.
see how many times we do it. So the reason that we're talking today is because you guys are the ones that are kind of up on the internet things. You're writing copy for our clients. You're also looking at things that will work in terms of how we make videos and how we make content for them. So when we go out and shoot, a lot of times you are the ones that are giving us plans, you know, what we need to shoot, types of things that we're going to actually produce and what's going out to the client. So I figured I would talk to you guys about some trends.
Okay.
Now, first of all, share with me, what platforms are you guys on the most? Like, if I had to look at your phone and look at time on screen, what is the app that is dominating your time on screen?
Definitely Instagram. It takes up the most storage on my phone. It takes up most of my screen time. I think the last I checked, it was at like 7 hours and something minutes just on Instagram, which, you know, there's a lot of hours in the day, so it's not horrible. But considering that I do actually have a full-time job where I'm not on my phone just on Instagram, then a lot of that time is spent at home, which I need to get better at, but
Yeah, I would say Instagram's probably number one for me. A close second would be TikTok. So yeah, both probably dominantly in that like short form scrolling reels, TikTok video content.
yep, TikTok as well.
Are we nighttime scrollers? Are you in bed scrolling on your phone?
I try not to be, but the thing is, after 10 p.m., everything is funny. And so I can't stop. And so like I'll fire stuff that has me like laughing out loud in my room in the dark. And I can't stop. It's like after 10 p.m., I don't know what it is.
Nighttime. Yeah, I think immediately after work, it's kind of, if you ever heard it, like revenge scroll. It's like, oh, I worked all day, so now I'm gonna make up for. So I deserve this. Yeah. So like, there's a 30-minute buffer after work. I feel like I go into that scroll mode for a little bit.
All right, so we're going to look through a couple links. I asked you guys to send me things that you have been seeing on the internet that you liked recently, whether it's a trend or a company or somebody that's doing things well online. I think the first one was the one you sent me, Sierra.
Oh, yes, so good.
Yeah, so let's talk about what this is, why you like this, why you think it works.
Yeah, this is who you're asking trend, and it shows the different team members of the company, brand, agency, whatever it is, them as little kids, and then what their job is on the actual, like, as part of the company. And so this one, Go Social, is another agency, and so you can see like it's just showing all of their team members as little kids, and it's like you really can't go wrong with cutie little kid pictures. And then it's just funny, or it's interesting to see, like, you know, this one, the one who spots the trends, imagining her that young, and now this is what she does.
Yeah, I submitted the same trend. I saw a couple different companies do. As someone who's scrolling on their phone, I do find this trend endearing. Like, I like seeing it. Kind of plays into a theme that we talk about a lot that's trending right now.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, nostalgia, especially in the realm of AI, with so much current information, kind of going back and seeing the nostalgia,
Yeah.
longing for the greater or like the simpler times.
Yeah.
So I really like that aspect of it. When I think about it from
Don't just ignore me.
when I think about it from a marketing perspective, and as I've kind of considered, would we put this out for our own clients or will we put it out for internal media? I do get kind of torn because I think it's great if your brand really, if part of the social strategy is having your team forward. So if you have a strong, reliable team that you're able to put at the forefront of your content, I think it's great to show kind of those throwback pictures. But if you haven't had like a strong team for a very long time, If you're selling a product, so it's not person focused, like if there's not a real need to put your team on it, I think that's where a company who's either a product or they're not someone who sells personality, they can go wrong with this trend as seeing just trying to play into the online sphere, but not being true and authentic, not really moving the needle for their brand. But I do think, yeah, it kind of depends on if you're having a personality and culture and team member first versus if you're just kind of phoning it in. If you don't usually post your people and then all of a sudden you're posting these throwback pictures.
Get pictures of them and we're like, oh, this is weird. I did not agree to this.
Yeah, I think especially, I mean, now with some content creators, it can be kind of controversial. Yeah, I was like kid pictures, like a lot of people are taking their kids off of.
Or hiding their faces strategically, like that type of thing.
Yes.
So looking at Go Social's page, it looks like they are very employee forward. So it looks like pretty much all of their content. They got a couple of things that look like client content.
Right.
But outside of that, it looks like it's
Like that one, scroll up just a little bit. 3 trends that are actually stopping the scroll. So they post like, I don't know, valuable like information tidbits for people to save, share, comment, like, and then use for their own.
yeah. And you can see they have like a meet Ashley, welcome Carolyn. So they're like very heavy on introducing their people. So it seems like this trend would
Be perfect for them.
fit really well with them.
I feel like this trend kind of comes around. We were talking about it a little bit earlier, and I want to say a couple months ago, maybe 6 months ago, it was the so now it's like this is the one that you're asking, but it was a throwback picture of a person, and it was like our media director when he should have been writing content for da 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 da, or it was like it would be me. Like if it was me, it would be a picture of me when I was 6, and it was like me when I should have been buying houses in the 2008 financial crisis or whatever.
Yes.
So kind of that trend with what they should have been doing, paired with the throwback picture. So trends kind of always resurface, but yeah, kind of with a different text and a little bit of a different format. But when you've been around and kind of keeping up with the internet as long as, we have in like a career professional looking at it through that lens setting, you definitely see kind of some of these trends where it's like,
Yeah.
All right. So what do we like about Jay Shetty's Instagram?
well, this was one I did it for the 2016 trend. So the
2016 trend.
yeah. So this was something that really took off in the beginning of 2026, with it being a decade since 2016. I don't know why, but there was just this like everybody romanticizes and loved 2016. I feel like specifically I hear like summer 16.
Yeah.
It has such, I don't know, for the world, everybody remembers it kind of in that limelight, even if it like wasn't for some reason the internet.
It was just so significant, I guess.
Right, but I don't even know. I mean,
Because, when did Instagram even come out? Do we know that?
So 2011.
2011. So it had already been around for some time. But, even the way that Instagram looked in 2016 is vastly different than how it looks now, for sure.
yeah, so just the whole idea of people talking about 2016, and a lot of brands or influencers and creators popped on this trend of showing what they were doing in 2016. My timeline was filled with a lot of those OG YouTubers and people who were big into the content creation game in 2016. And it kind of showed their throwbacks. So very similar to kind of what we were talking about with the other trend. But this one, maybe, it was 2016. And I feel like Jay Shetty did it well since he is someone who's been around and kind of been doing a similar thing for 10 years. So I liked his. It was a carousel post that kind of showed different benchmarks in his last decade.
Feels like a slight flex.
Yeah, you're kind of able to show your transformation, your growth.
Well, and that's what I like about it. There were some creators that I follow that I saw posts. One specifically that I'm thinking of, her name is Helen Owen, and she started like posting as an influencer in 2016. That's when she had her like photo that started it all or something like that. And that compared to where she is now is crazy. Like, the transformation is insane. And so, it is for some people, like patting themselves on the back. But I'm just like, yes, love to see that positivity. Like, yeah, you did amazing in 10 years. So let's keep going.
Yeah, I think people that had been around since 2016 and had like a genuine story from that I think I saw a couple people that I felt like were phoning it in. Yeah. That like if your story hadn't gone back, like if you had a company and it was founded in 2020 and it really didn't have roots in 2016, I don't think you should have hopped on the trend just to be able to jump on the trend. But people who did it meaningfully, like Jay Shetty, I think did it well. But if you didn't have solid roots in 2016,
or even like a vast change. Because like me, yeah, we're around.
2016, but in 10 years, nothing really has changed.
Yeah, if you didn't have a flexible or like something that you could show off for 10 years,
Right.
if you're in the same spot, maybe you'll
Yeah.
get some empathy or sympathy, or you can turn it into a motivation post. But
it would almost turn into like a pity me
Yeah.
type of post, which we don't like.
Yeah. I think the 2016 is a good way to show that you've been doing it for a long time. I agree with you on that, Sammy. I don't think it's a great use if you weren't there, if you weren't using it. I don't know if it works as well. But also like first ever YouTube video, 161,000 views. Shout out Jay Shetty.
Daggone. 161,000 for his first ever?
It says first ever YouTube video in my life hasn't been the same ever since.
Holy crap.
Now it probably accumulated over a little bit of time.
Oh, for sure.
But still pretty
That's
solid
amazing.
flex there.
That's overnight success. Definition of it right there.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, I also sent the Charlie Puth link. So with
Yeah.
2016, that was kind of the specific trend was people showing pictures in a carousel format or in a real format. But I think a lot of people went on to kind of put their own spin on the trend since 2016 as a whole, and that romanticization of it was trending.
Right.
Charlie Puth kind of took it in a different spin. So his kind of expertise in being a music producer, he was able to kind of show his knowledge, and I think established authority, kind of what Jake was saying, was showing his knowledge of 2016 music versus 2020 music and why they sound the same or why they sound different and kind of what's changed. So he was able to take that trending topic of 2016, not copy and paste the format, but put his own spin on it while still relating to the trend that was very prevalent. So I really liked his take on it, and I think that his ability to kind of put his own touch on it that's relevant to his niche and his field, I think was very unique, and I appreciated him not just playing along with the copy and paste sort of aspect.
Dang, no notes. That was good. That was really good.
Yeah,
No
and
notes.
I think this is another example of just consistency.
Yeah.
Like it's a good way to show off what you've been doing for a long time. I think it builds a little bit more credibility because he's been doing this weird, like bang a fork against a wall and say what note it makes
It's
type
so
of content
cool, though.
forever.
It's so
Like,
cool.
I appreciate Charlie Puth. Did we see his national
Yes.
anthem?
Yes.
Yes, I was a fan of it. I think it was pretty like short. I know that's always something people bet on is like how long the national
it's gonna
anthem is
go.
going to be.
It was amazing. Goosebumps. That was the most enjoyable part of the Super Bowl to me. So
Nice. I thought it was a good arrangement, but I had the same problem I have with all Charlie Puth music.
which is
He's like so into the technical part of music that it kind of takes over. So like he had his voice layered at least 2 or 3 different times. Like he had a backtrack
yeah,
that was like layered, and that almost gives it like an auto-tune-y feel.
sure.
And that's just like his music too. He does that in
Yeah.
like all of his music. And so it sounded pre-recorded.
Well, that's fair, but it's still Charlie Puth.
It's
Like,
it's Charlie Puth.
Still him.
It's Charlie Puth. It just, to me, like when you do the national anthem at like a huge sporting
it
event,
should be raw.
it's all about the vocal.
Yeah.
Like it's all about how you can sing, because we've seen like Whitney Houston do it.
amazing.
Chris Stapleton did it a few years ago, which was like a huge one.
Yeah.
Shout out Charlie Puth though.
Yeah. Seriously.
The camera guy actually won that. Did you guys see the shot that the
Which-
camera guy got, the Steadicam guy got?
I don't think so.
So like at
I
the
wasn't
they did
paying
the
attention.
flyover,
Yeah.
you know, and so like he's hitting the last note, and the Steadicam guy like backs out and gets the flyover,
yeah.
and then ends back on Charlie Puth. It was like big on, if you're on videographer internet,
I was not, so which is
I'm not
probably
either.
why
The-
I
the
didn't
s-
see that.
the
Or, like,
Steadicam guy
yeah.
got some love for sure.
Well, good for him.
It's pretty sweet. All right, what do we have here?
more
Oh,
of
this was the same
oh,
trend.
Okay.
Poppy.
So
Yeah.
Poppy, it doesn't shock me that they jumped on this trend because they are kind of known for being very online. They invest a lot in social. So it doesn't shock me that but I, like you said, I think this brand or this trend does favor people that have a notable rotating cast of characters
Right.
on their feed. I know that their founder, CEO is usually pretty prevalent in some of their stuff. But I mean, if you were to ask me who these people are, like they don't have the like meet Ashlyn or you know what I mean, introducing people like we did on the other Go Social feed. So I think it feels a little bit different. I don't know if I was in charge of Poppy Social, if I would have jumped on this trend. So I might disagree with you a little bit there. As
It's
a
interesting.
consumer, I think it's good, but
Yeah.
if I was to market it and say that this moved the needle and like push for Poppy, I don't think it would have done it for me.
Fair.
Yeah, I kind of agree, but I don't know. That it's an interesting one because I think like nostalgia is so strong that it may play everywhere, but it does like if you scroll through Poppy's feed, it is like an outlier in terms of
Right.
their content. So, and really like I don't see like any trends happening in their content at all. And so for them to do that one, it's interesting. Maybe it just speaks to how powerful the nostalgia play is.
Maybe.
And like it's an easy one,
Yeah, for sure.
right? As long as you have people in your company that have pictures of themselves when they're little,
Yeah.
you don't have to do anything in terms of putting time into creating.
Right.
So maybe it's just one that people feel like they can jump onto.
Yeah.
But I agree. It wouldn't be my first, like when I look at Poppy, I wouldn't think that they would do this. Whereas Go Social, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Should we do this?
As J29,
Yes. Yeah.
I think it would be.
I think we totally could. That's what we're trying to do is have more of our faces out there. So,
Yeah, I haven't been super up on the like with J29s, but as a company who I feel like is, I don't know, I know we're trying to showcase our work a lot, so I think that J29 could do a really creative spin. Like if we gave Alicia or CJ or someone with like animation or graphics and they could almost edit it as like a scrapbook, you know what I mean? Like showing off their
Cute.
graphic or as a, I don't know, like a newspaper, but some sort of like
oh my gosh.
editing photo element to kind of showcase the work on top of.
I think a scrapbook page for each one would be adorable because then that is also just another layer onto the nostalgia play because who scrapbooks anymore unless, you know, you're a grandma or you want to be me.
The grandma hobbies are in full effect. So yeah, I think that if we were to do it as a creative agency, we would have to level it up a little bit
And do
rather
more than just like a picture with text on it. Right?
I also appreciate that both Go Social and Poppy put their like colors and typography into it
Yeah.
because I think that's something that's too easy with some trends. You have to do the same sound or the same style copy in order for it to make sense. But I appreciate that they,
Kept it cohesive.
with their font and color scheme.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at, we had a LinkedIn
Oh, LinkedIn.
page that we like. Just looking at Canva's LinkedIn page. Sammy, why'd you choose this? What do you like about this?
Yeah, so I followed Canva a little while ago. They are something that I kind of utilize. So just kind of wanted to stay up to date with any updates that they were putting out. It was not the page that I was kind of expecting. They have a really high post cadence, and then also,
2.4 million followers.
yeah, they're huge.
That's insane.
Surprisingly. Like on LinkedIn too.
On LinkedIn, that's an
LinkedIn.
insane number.
So they have a really high post cadence. I think that they use LinkedIn
literally
almost as
me
if
today.
it's I think that they use LinkedIn in a different way that I would think of because I think maybe Gen Z or our generation really thinks about it as like work and business professional.
Yeah.
I think that they do that in some cases, but they also play in, as you see, with kind of like the memes. They showcase what they can do with Canva, with the different things that they create. They're carousels, all their posts. So it really shows what you're able to do with the platform. Also, one thing I've noticed with following them is that they are super responsive and always in the comments of anyone who tags them. So people will say like, or they'll just post on LinkedIn, I don't like, or this Canva feature, like it's so slow with da da da. And Canva's in the comments being like, hey, we're working on this. We see you. So I think that the online engagement that they have is really superb. And I don't think that's,
What a great word.
I don't think that's something I see a lot of on LinkedIn specifically. If anything, it's usually people in the comments are companies saying like welcome to the company, talking to their own employees, but their kind of outreach I think is really unique. Another thing that I like is that they actually like created a LinkedIn trend using their own thing, so they're in the comments of anyone who does the trend. It's been like what's on my desk as a social media manager, what's on my desk as a CEO, and it'll be people using like the background remover effect, just kind of copy and paste of very similar to that, but it's people showing what's on their desk and what they use, and then Canva's always in the comments, so it reaches more people, like all their followers. So I don't follow any of these people, but because Canva's commented, and I think they know that about the LinkedIn algorithm, so that's a really smart play in terms of, I know this social media platform, I know what is going to reach people. It's not necessarily just posting more, but it's being in the comments as well, since that shows up to all your followers. So I think that they
Engaging.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
That community outreach aspect is really, I think that they're doing it well. I haven't seen anyone do it as well on LinkedIn. But again, with all these memes and kind of different things they post, I don't know if they're just doubling down to reach more professionals and kind of break through their kind of repertoire of being like against Adobe or against like other creating platforms. So they're really trying to branch out into this professional LinkedIn atmosphere. But yeah, they constantly are on my page, and I think they do it pretty well.
Yeah,
it's very interesting. I think I've never looked at their page, but looking at it right now, I think one thing that they are doing really well is they are talking to the people that use their platform,
right?
Like very clearly, because so I think in terms of like design and things like that, you're going to get a lot more amateur people using Canva. They're probably young. They're probably
not a graphic designer.
Probably young professionals or people that maybe are in a position that in their job that they've grown into where they have to do some editing, light editing, and it kind of talks to them. And people, I'm going to say this, people that use Canva, I would say the archetype is they're kind of nerdy people. Right? If you're looking at like the editors versus each other, like the professional cool person is going to use Photoshop.
Correct. Yeah.
Like, so it's going to be, I would say like their design and stuff is probably more sleek and more like Apple coded, where this is like much more poppy colors and like kind of playful.
Yeah.
That I think it's going to attract.
So you're saying like the professional is going to use boring stuff, and then the non-professionals are going to use the playful stuff.
Yeah, I think that like it's going to speak to them more. Like
for sure.
Cutting out the background, like this little thing right here, like cutting out the background of a picture of a cat.
Yeah.
You're probably not going to see that in a Photoshop advertisement.
No.
You're probably going to see like in Photoshop, you're probably going to see like a model.
Yeah.
And somebody editing and airbrushing and things like that, where this is like much more playful. And I think just self-awareness online is very important.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because, like I said, it's like, are they trying to convert people to Adobe, or are they just trying to, or people from Adobe to Canva, or are they just reaching out to other people like
they
me and
converted me.
Sierra? Yeah, and being like, hey, if you don't think you have graphic design skills, meet us halfway.
We make this easy.
Like, we can help you. And to that I say thank you, because Canva has been my saving grace more than once.
Yeah, I mean, that's when I first started making logos and edits and stuff like that. It was definitely Canva.
Oh my gosh. And my presentations popping off in Canva, man. Like, let me tell you.
I remember discovering it my sophomore year of high school, and I was like,
you were like, where has this been all my life?
Yeah, I mean, just like their templated stuff, and people who, real creators who then upload their stuff to Canva to be templatized. I'm like, okay,
yeah,
amazing.
Good enough for me.
Yeah, and 2.5 million followers on LinkedIn is wild. They're obviously doing something right.
They're so active. They must have so many.
I want to know. Yeah, I was gonna say I want to know like who is behind this page and like how many of them. you know? Because
I'm sure they have a dedicated person for outreach
Yeah.
and content creation, and you know they
I
must
would
have it
love
so
to
split
know.
up.
See, I wish they would have done the nostalgia trend because daggum, I want to see
Yeah.
who's behind it.
Canva, get on it.
Yeah, seriously.
All right. And then we had a TikTok account, Lionsgate.
Oh my gosh. Lionsgate.
There's a lot going on this page, so I'm not going to click on too many of the things. But what do we like? And 6.2 million followers on TikTok. What do we like about what they're doing?
Sammy, take it away.
I like that they are coming off as a social first page. I think a lot of people will try to take their company and make it, how do I say this? They're taking their company and making it into TikTok rather than kind of the vice versa. They, I mean, saw TikTok and saw how could we fit into this organically, naturally, rather than forcing our content.
Right.
And
Rather
making it
than
feel,
posting like full movie trailers every single time on TikTok. Is that what
Right.
you mean? Yeah.
yeah. And also, I think it just kind of plays the algorithm. So obviously, there's a bunch of people who make these kind of, I mean, CapCut or Premiere Pro edits in their free time.
Yeah.
And so these started popping up on my feed maybe in like November of 2025. And you would look down and see the blue check mark, and you're like, this edit that looks like it was made on iMovie is from a verified Lionsgate account. Like, they're literally like cheesy,
Oh my gosh,
not
yes.
high produced. But
Well-
all the comments, I mean, they're feeding into these fandoms, people
Yeah.
that love their movies.
Yeah.
So if they're wanting to get eyes, they did this with all their old movies first. So like the Twilights, or and then they kind of transitioned it. So they did it with the old Now You See Me movies. The
Oh,
third one was
yeah.
coming out, so it kind of helped to build hype around the new one.
And the Hunger Games stuff too.
Yeah, so they've already made ones. The movie hasn't even come out yet, but the trailer came out, and they made these
Edits.
yeah
from it.
these edits
I love it.
from like the trailer, so the ones of the young Haymitch
Yes, so good.
Sunrise on the Reaping, like they're already making edits about it and pushing those out. And I think because they fit that algorithm of fast paced, they're not super obviously like high produced, they have that filter on them that kind of makes them like that nostalgic throwback, but you can tell they're not great edits, you know, but they just play into who is on TikTok. They're speaking to the social media audience
Yeah.
rather than, I mean, because
Like,
there's
it
so many
fits the
ways you could
algorithm,
go,
like-
especially, you know, with Letterboxd and kind of the movie buffs. There's definitely a higher production type of person.
Yeah.
But when you think of who's on TikTok, the conversations around movies right now, it's these thirst trap edits that I think are just so funny that Lionsgate
awesome.
greenlighted this as
Yeah.
a social strategy. But I think it's working, like we
Well,
said.
it's working, and of course, like we're not the only people that have seen it and being like, "What the heck?" Because their bio literally says, "I'm real." So it's like,
Like, this is the
they're
verified
like,
account.
they're like, "Yes, like this is our real account. We get it now. Look through the videos and have fun." Like,
Yeah, like even the
Yeah,
Michael
I'm
Jackson document or biopic coming out, they have edits of that. So they're just on it. And I don't know, I think it's a really unique social strategy to kind of give into that fandom culture, especially as like a high, like they're a well-known movie production
it's
company.
Lionsgate. It's Lionsgate.
But they have this like unhinged, I mean, it's not super unhinged, but I mean, they're giving into the TikTok
Yeah.
experience, to the social media play. So I think whoever pitched it must have had a really hard time pitching it. Like, I can't
you
imagine
imagine?
that meeting.
I cannot imagine being the person like presenting in that meeting. Like, listen, this is what I think we should do. But yeah, it's working.
Yeah, so doing social trends as well. Like, I know this audio and this style of edit was very popular not too long ago. So they're doing some basically some UGC content. And I think that this speaks really well to packaging your content to fit the platform,
Right.
to fit, you know, because there's a certain grammar, there's a certain conversation that happens on TikTok
Yeah.
versus all the other platforms,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
And so meeting the audience on the platform where they're at and like with what the platform is really providing, I think is the way companies need to look at social,
Yeah.
right?
Because
Is
every platform is different and serves a different purpose.
Yep. Yeah. And so, what do you think is, and we'll end on this, and when we're talking about the different platforms, whether it's LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Threads. We might need to talk about Threads next time we talk.
Yeah.
Or TikTok. Are they for everybody? Do you need to... Does everybody need to be on these social platforms? Should you hyper focus on one? What would be your recommendation to people that maybe are played around with social a little bit but want to get serious about promoting and developing brands on social?
Like companies type
Or
of
personal
situation?
brands, really just anything.
I mean, gosh, that's a loaded question. Because for personal brands, I feel like you want your eggs in as many baskets as possible because you're trying to reach everybody. But for specific like brands or services, it depends on who your target audience is, really. Because, I mean, TikTok is going to be a younger generation than Facebook. And so you're not going to be talking to the same people. And if you're not trying to reach, the generations that are on TikTok, then it's not really going to serve you well to try and get after it on there, whereas it might do a lot better on Facebook where you're trying to reach an older generation or a millennial generation. Like, Sammy?
Yeah, I agree. I think that it can be time demanding to keep up on multiple platforms. So I always say if you're going to do it, do it well.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be known for being unresponsive on one platform.
Right.
But I would say I agree with Sierra. Going where your generation is, it depends on like your product and your service as well. If you're selling something that those target audience people are not going to be online, then you maybe don't need to be on that platform.
Yeah.
Or there's other buckets of marketing to put it in besides social. It's hard because I am Gen Z, so I'm like, everyone's online, but I know there's obviously people that are not.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it depends on who you're trying to reach, the time and energy that you have, because a lot of your reputation can live on social, if that's like your first touch point with a brand. So if you're not doing it well, I think it can definitely hinder you too, or just make you look chuggy, outdated if you're only going to post every 6 months
or
to
just
follow a trend.
cringy.
Yeah.
Like, because, you'll see that post and you're like, curl your nose at it. You're like, ew, they shouldn't be doing this. You're like, I know what they could do better, and it is not on TikTok.
Cool. So that's where we'll end for this week. Thank you all so much for coming in and having this chat with me. Hopefully next month we can kind of build on this and have another conversation about what we're seeing online and what we feel like people can do.
We need to have snacks next time. Like
Noted.
a muffin or a donut or something.
Noted.
Do some ASMR eating. That's
Oh my
another
gosh.
trend you're going to.
I actually hate ASMR, so I don't think we should do that.